On this episode of Unbillable, we talk about the difference between those with JD and ESQ at the end of their names. I talk about how being a lawyer is a little bit of a thankless profession, but first, an all-new intro. And we're back. Hey, thanks for tuning in for another episode of Unbillable. I am, let's go ahead and say it, everybody's favorite California licensed attorney, Amir Afsar, and I appreciate you for being here. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. You know you want to. We got a lot of exciting things coming up in the future, and subscribing is the best way to keep in touch with us. So today what I want to talk about is a really simple legal issue, which is what is the difference between someone who has JD at the end of their name versus someone that uses ESQ? And the answer is actually quite simple. The letters JD reference Juris Doctorate, a Juris Doctorate degree. That is the degree that evidences your successful completion of law school. At the end of law school, you receive a Juris Doctorate. The ESQ, on the other hand, the ESQ stands for Esquire. Esquire meaning lawyer. So you're not able to obtain the ESQ insignia until you've passed the bar. It's not so much about finishing law school, it's about passing the bar exam. All right, so now that we've discussed the JD versus ESQ, I mean, that's a pretty simple topic. I want to talk about something that's actually a little more difficult for me, and that's talking directly into the camera. You know, I guess not so much talking into the camera, but the process of talking about something that isn't like a legal topic. It's actually pretty easy for me to pick a topic, something that I preferably know about, and then sit down in front of the camera here and discuss it, right? Discuss the ramifications of an engagement ring if the wedding doesn't go through, and things like that are simple legal principles and topics that I could talk about with pretty much ease. What becomes more difficult for me, at least me personally, is turning to the camera and trying to have a conversation about something more personal, something less law and more personal to me. And so that's something I've kind of struggled with as far as this vlog goes, and rather than just kind of, I guess, figure it out, because I've had a hard time doing that, I figured I'd kind of look into the camera and just say that. I kind of have a hard time discussing things that might specifically be relevant or important to me. It's much easier for me to respond to inquiries or questions about the law. Sometimes I think maybe that's something that I'm able to hide behind, right? I'm able to hide behind the question or the legal topic, like today, the difference between JD or ESQ being at the end of your name, rather than something that's more personal or honest to my own opinions or my own desires, right? So with that in mind, I do want to talk about kind of two things that have come up more specifically with regard to the vlog, and see if I can kind of open up and address these topics that kind of keep seeming to rear their heads to me, right? The first one is, why am I doing this? What is the purpose, or what am I trying to do with the vlog? And I guess it's time for me to just kind of put it how it is. I find that being a lawyer is a little bit of a thankless profession. My clients don't seem to say thank you all that much. Don't get me wrong, when we're successful, when the case is resolved in a manner that is favorable to my client, I'm not saying they're unhappy with the results. What I'm saying is they're not very thankful. If you think about a doctor or someone you go to when you're sick and you feel better, generally you thank the doctor for their help. There's a respect level with the medical profession that simply doesn't exist with lawyers. Many times in cases where, you know, frankly, let's say the positive outcome has sometimes even surprised me, the client doesn't necessarily say thank you. They still walk out feeling like the entire thing never should have happened in the first place, or that, you know, the legal system costs too much money and that it's never worth it. You know, so that kind of thankless side of the legal profession is not something that's often talked about. And don't get me wrong, I have clients that say thank you. I have clients that give me, you know, gifts or bottles of wine. I don't want to make it sound like everybody. It's never a blanket statement. But I'm kind of saying in the general sense, I feel as though the profession's a little thankless. For that reason, and because frankly, I enjoy the, you know, dispute resolution, the actual solving of the problem side of the legal profession, I've started doing more mediations and acting as a mediator. I do mediations for the California Association of Realtors. I do mediations for the County of Riverside as well. So I do enjoy doing mediations because I like getting involved in the dispute for the purpose of resolving the dispute, for the purpose of bringing the two sides to that middle ground resolution. And where we can do that, I definitely enjoy doing so, and I think there is more reward there. That thankless side of the profession, however, I think it gave rise to me putting myself out there to teach the undergraduate classes at Cal State University San Bernardino. I have the pleasure of teaching a couple management classes. I sort of, for short, refer to them as a introduction to law and a upper level introduction to law. They're both relatively basic and fundamental undergraduate classes that talk about businesses and the law, if you will, together. So that's been something that, I gotta be honest, I've enjoyed a lot more than I ever thought I would. It's the joy that I get from being the professor that is definitely outweighing the, let's say, lack of financial benefit. Clearly, I make more money acting as an attorney billing at my hourly rate rather than acting as an adjunct professor teaching a few hours of class every night. The reward I get from the students and the value I get from the feedback, that's really been why I've done it. If you take that and you look at in my life that I've been trying to advance this public speaking side of my business or career, however you want to term that, and I've been using the professor job to land more and more speaking engagements at high schools, at colleges, sometimes with real estate offices, things of that nature, and most recently with the 4th annual Student Leadership Conference that took place right here in Palm Desert. So that was a convenient speaking engagement. It was a great night. I had a good time. I think it went pretty well. We're actually working on the video and hope to get that posted real soon. So bringing it back to the vlog, I guess the question goes back down to, so what am I trying to get out of this? And the answer is, I don't know. I don't know specifically what I'm trying to get out of this, but I do know that I enjoy making these vlogs. I've enjoyed talking about the various legal topics, and I've enjoyed, putting these together. It sparked a lot of great conversation with friends. It sparked some old relationships to come back to the forefront, people that have wanted to talk to me about the vlog and what it is exactly we're doing on social media and things like that for my own personal business and my law practice, and that's been worth it in and of itself. I hope in the long run there's something more to gain out of it, but what that specific thing is, I don't know. I don't really have a target in mind. I guess originally I said I'm sick of people thinking that lawyers are jerks. I wanted to open an avenue for people to see that lawyers are not jerks, that a lot of us are actually really nice people, charismatic people who are looking to help people resolve their problems. And helping others is really a cornerstone and staple of the profession that is overlooked by sort of the stereotypes and stigmatisms of being a lawyer. So I guess that answers the first question. The second question has to do with the intro. If you caught this video, we utilized a new intro. I hope you enjoyed that. I had a couple people telling me that the first version was a little bit unprofessional, and I was kind of surprised by that. This is a vlog on YouTube. The name of it is Unbillable. I guess by the nature of it, it's gonna be a little bit, I don't want to say unprofessional, but maybe not so buttoned up. So I like the new intro, don't get me wrong. I plan on using both of them. I don't see a reason why we have to get rid of one for the other. But I do want to address the fact that I guess that's kind of what I'm getting at with this vlog in the first place, is that not all lawyers are a bunch of buttoned up suit wearing people. That I think of myself as someone who solves problems. So if you have a business or a real estate or construction problem, or a problem with your car, something that's serious, something that's really causing you strife in a financial project, or people aren't following through with their contracted obligations, I think of myself as someone who can help solve those problems for people. And I want to open up this avenue and this window so people can see that it's not a bunch of suit wearing, buttoned up people. I think a lot of people in the legal profession are really interesting, really charismatic, and frankly a little bit too scared to show who they really are for some reason. So you know what? Here I am. Let me be one of those people just showing out who I am. So in closing, I want to say that I'm enjoying doing this vlog. I plan to keep at it. I hope you'll let me know below whether you like the original intro or this intro. I plan to do more intros, and I hope to keep the vlog coming out fresh and clean and awesome, so that you'll continue to like, comment, and subscribe. That's what's keeping this going. Let's keep it growing. I look forward to hearing from you, and I look forward to future episodes of Unbillable. Woo!